This afternoon, we're going to continue our discussion on our topic for the Science 10, and that is on ecosystem, particularly on biodiversity. Our objective for this afternoon is to determine how the species of the ecosystem will going to increase through variation and survival. But before we're going to have our lesson for this afternoon, before we're going to have our field activity and group activity, let's have first an initiating activity, a warm-up activity that is a class debate. So I've already established the groupings, the positive side and the negative side. Each group is composed of 5 members. While the rest on their seats, I'm also giving the task to write down important things. And after this debate, I'm going to ask them which side they're going to take. It's either the positive side or the negative side. So this afternoon, we are going to contemplate the most updated, timely, and relevant and talkable issue in our locality. And that is poultry farming in the locality of Matangad should be stopped. In this class debate, we'll be witness with these 3 smart, brilliant teachers of Matangad National High School. To start with, we have the beautiful lady of the senior high school, English teacher, teacher 3, no less than the beautiful one, Mrs. Annalyn Paruhino. Let's give her a big round of applause. The second panel of observer is a Filipino teacher, a teacher 2. Let's welcome Jerry Gaid. A big hand for him. The last but not the least is our guidance counselor. At the same time, your English teacher of English 10. The head of this panel of observers. Let's welcome Mrs. Joycelyn E. Fabricante. I'm going to reiterate the rules of this debate. The number 1 rule, each speaker is given 1 minute to express his or her statement. Second, if the speaker exceeds the 1 minute time, I'm going to call his or her attention to wrap up his or her statement. Then lastly, no pointing of hands to the other speaker. Filthy words should be avoided. Before we finally start our classroom debate, may I request each group to stand up and make a sign, a symbolism of peace. Okay, and now let's get started. On the left side are the people who strongly believe that poultry farming in the locality of Matangad should not be stopped.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Hanelin. And for me, I strongly believe that poultry farming in Matangad locality should not be stopped because it has a great impact to those people who are having this business. That's all.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Princess Ravel D. Luceno, and I'm from Positive Side.
I strongly believe that we should not stop poultry farming because it's one of the livelihood here in our barangay, which is the Matangad. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Rachel Salvador. I strongly believe that poultry farming should not be stopped because this can help us to build a small family business and can help us our livelihood.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Romulo Bibaro. I strongly believe that the poultry farming should not be stopped. It is because poultry worker can support their family of the financial that they need, and it increase the economic growth of our country.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rex Mendes from the positive side, and I believe that poultry farming should not be stopped because it has a great big impact in the society. And also, before you complain to the barangay that the poultry farming should be stopped, we should first deliberate what might be the effect of this problem. Like, let me say, for example, the economic advancement, that would be the problem of the business owner and to us, the consumer. Thank you.
Thank you, affirmative side. And in my right side are the people who strongly believe that poultry farming should be stopped.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kimaran Tiana from the negative side, and I strongly believe that we should stop poultry farming because it has a lot of effects, not only our health and also to our environment.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Guro Baban from the negative side. I strongly believe that poultry farm should be stopped because it can affect our health. We know that the poultry farm was the source of flies that can bring us illness that can destroy our life. That's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Julius Sonor and stand for the negative side. And I strongly believe that poultry farming should be stopped because many of the residents near the poultry facilities have experienced more flies and cause illness.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Grace Marie Moderator and from negative side, and I strongly believe that poultry farming should be stopped because it has a negative impact. So that stop it when it's not too late.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christopher Mansayo, and I stand for the negative side, and I strongly believe that poultry farming should be stopped because it causes too much illness to one's health and even our environment and our community health. Thank you.
Thank you, negative side. At this point, we'll be hearing the first speaker of the affirmative side for the resolution. Why poultry farming should not be stopped?
Engaging a business like poultry farming cannot affect someone's health because each businessman who engage this kind of business are given chemicals or any solutions that cannot affect those people who are surrounded by this kind of poultry farming. And it helps us as a businessman to provide the daily needs and to give our family some money to be spent to our family.
I strongly believe that poultry farming should be stopped because it has a lot of effects, which is asthma, dengue fever, and respiratory diseases. Yes, it gives a livelihood program for us, but we will also think for our environment and also to our health.
I strongly believe that poultry farming should not be stopped because We know what is right and what is bad. As a businesswoman, you know what is your responsibilities. So, if you build a poultry, you need to clean it always so that you are avoid or the other people will avoid any diseases.
Okay, I strongly believe that. How can you assure that poultry farm cannot be affected to our health and our environment? We know that we can avoid that. There are people from the there are residents that proclaim that flies can bring us illness and it can destroy our life.
Aside from the effects of the poultry farm has also a benefits as in terms, well, farmers prefer to invest in this business. Billions of chickens are raised throughout the world as a good source of food of their meat and eggs.
Yes, poultry facilities have a source of odor, parting flies, and carry diseases like ammonia and etc.
Yes. Poultry farming has a lot of bad smells and odor, but if you are a poultry farming businesswoman or businessman, you think before you engage this poultry farming to avoid any odor or flies that bring illness to the people that surround it.
Now, how can you control the flies that can affect the health of the people around the poultry farming live, which is bringing the negative effects such as diarrhea or food poisonings?
Well, if I am a poultry farm owner, it is not just my problem that the flies are flying all over your house. We should help each other to protect ourselves from illness. Not like that's part of your what's this business, and you say that's your business, not mine, and you take care of that. I'm not saying that it is bad to become a businessman of a poultry farm and letting the people suffer and I am gaining some money. But if I stop having my farm, then there are people who will be affected that, let's say for example, an egg vendor, they will have nothing to sell anymore, or a chicken meat vendor, they will have nothing to sell, and us, the consumer, will have nothing to buy. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. It is the main source of livelihood income. But you are still looking for the positive side. But how about seeking upon the negative side? It is not our time to waste, but we should have to prevent as long as it is not too late.
And now, at this point, let's have the rebuttal speaker of the affirmative side.
Preventing the spreading of lice cannot affect all of the people here in Matangad. I know that all of those businessmen are given chemicals, as what I've said earlier. So it is not your problem. It is not your problem anymore for those illnesses, because we are provided the authority to build this kind of business here in Matangad. And don't say that building a business like poultry farming can affect and has negative sides, because when there's a negative side, there's also positive effects on our community.
To answer the rebuttal speaker of the first speaker, let's have the rebuttal speaker of the negative side.
Yes, as you have said earlier that it has a positive effect, but we will also think the negative effect. Yes, you have to control the flies, but how can you control the chemicals that could bring that could contaminate into the air?
Okay, at this time, let's have the summary. And to defend their group, let's call the fifth speaker of the affirmative side to defend.
Okay, as I have said earlier, that we should first deliberate what could be the effect if we would stop poultry farming. Saying that or complaining that we should stop poultry farming because it has the source of more flies in our houses during harvest time. It's just like saying that, hey, construction worker, stop working because you are cutting trees. Hey, illegal loggers, stop cutting because you are cutting trees. Hey, you workers in the, let's say, for example, call centers, stop working there. And you could affect lives. Because when you are leaving, some are also leaving. And we have different livings, like if you work fishing, and let's say our fathers are fishermen, and my father would be a construction worker, and I say, your father should stop fishing because it affects the coral reefs, it affects the production of the fishes in the sea. That's just like saying that, hey, you farmers, stop planting. It's like killing ourselves. It's like saying to yourself that I should stop breathing.
Time is up. Okay, at this point, let's call the negative side to defend and to summarize their group.
Yes, exactly. But we should have, as a businessman, we should have to engage ourselves, the goodness between ourselves and to the people who live in Matangad. Yes, it is good, it is a livelihood, but we should have to focus not only the positive side, but as long as the negative side. Like the negative effects are being here when we are having a poultry farming. We should have to build in mind that if we want some changes, we should have to start changing in ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, students. So we end up our debate. Everyone stated their side, the affirmative side and the negative side. And now, for the affirmative side, why poultry farming should not be stopped. The reasons are, it is the main income of the locality. Second, it is the source of food. And the third, the people in the locality will not be able to have their work because of the abandoning of the poultry farm. And in the positive side, the reasons why poultry farming should be stopped because it is the source or the main problem for diseases. And second, rampant of insects and flies. And third, it can damage to our health. So we are done with our debate. I know, are you okay right now? So, again, I want you to stand up and shake hands to a sign of peace, everyone. Okay, we are done with the debate right now. So, at this time, I'm going to call the audience. Upon hearing the debate, what with your side? It's either positive or negative. So, who in favor that poultry farming should not be stopped? Raise your hands. Only one? So, why is it that you're in favor that poultry farming should not be stopped?
I would agree that poultry farming should not be stopped because it is one of the source of our income and food. Even though it has a negative effects, we should not stop it because we can control the spreading of flies. That would be all.
Thank you, Mr. Ratso. So, poultry farming should not be stopped because it's the main source of the income in the locality. How about the negative side, who are in favor that poultry farming should be stopped? Yes?
For me, I would agree to the negative side. We need to stop the poultry farming because it can affect our health and also to our environment, especially in harvest time. Even though we can control the spreading of flies, but we use chemicals that also affect our air pollution. It can be inhaled by the people who live in the near of that place.
So the reason why poultry farming should be stopped because of the diseases, the pollution that we can get from poultry farm. And that ends our debate for this afternoon. So we are now going to continue to our lesson. We're going to have our group work. Thank you, class.